Hello everyone, welcome back to your second section. And now you study about the blueprint 6, okay? Science fiction and science fact. Yesterday you have learned about myth, myth of um, whether you can consider whether which one is science, which one is fictions, and you also have learned some the definition like reproduce, like antibiotics, okay. And so far, everyone, you also yeah got to know about this vocabulary, this unit 2. And today lesson you are going to demonstrate on this vocabularies and with the definition by you do the word matching on page 54 and 55. What? So can you see here, everyone? Yeah, we have 5 picture and 5 word. We have like the word target, the word like violent, the word like accurate, inaccurate, the word like connection, and virus. So you can look at the picture number 1 that 2 plus 2 equal 5. So basically when you do the mathematics like this, you have to give the accurate answer, right? Because of it is so simple, not too difficult, not too predicted. So 2 plus with 2 equal 4, not equal 5. So it is inaccurate. Okay, it is inaccurate. So number 2, you see like the types of disease, okay, that they use the micro 2, okay, that to check or to see that how a small pieces of this disease. So what is it, everyone? Virus, right? Virus. And the picture number 3, okay, picture number 3, the man try to punch, okay, or like try to fight, and we call what? We call violent, right? Violent, to punch, okay, violent. And the picture number 4, I mean, you see the arrow, stick on the, we call the round thing, and in the middle, and they have the same point at the red one. So what picture is it, everyone? The target, right? So the arrow, they reach the target the same. And the last one, you see A to B or A, okay. The first one you see like the zigzag line, and the second one you see the draw line. So this is connection, right? Connections. What about the word matching here? So we have 11 vocabulary, and we have 11 the definition as well from A to K, everyone. So we have like origin, the word claim, sell, take something into account, requirement, infection, advance, handful, scientifically, eventually, and myth, right? Myth. So a new discovery or invention. Discovery means to find something. Invention, it means to create something, okay. The smallest living part of an animal or a plant. To say that something is true without proof. A disease that is caused by bacteria or virus, okay. A small number or a few. F, something that is needed or demanded. G, the cause of something or where something comes from. And H, an idea that is not true but is believed by many people. In the end, especially after a long time. And J, to consider something when judging a situation. K, in a way that relate to science or use scientific method. Okay, so we have 11 vocabulary and 11 definition from A to K. So are you ready to check your answer, everyone? Okay, so teacher would like you to check for the first one, the word origin. Origin means the cause of something or where some things come from. Okay, I mean the original one. And okay, so number 2, the word claim. To claim something means that you say that something is true without proof. To claim that. Okay. And number 3, sell. So here I mean the letter B. Okay, the smallest living part of an animal or a plant. Cell. And number 4, take something into account. If take something into account, letter J, to consider something when judging a situation. Okay. Requirement. When the word requirement means demand or is needed. So number 5, letter F. Okay. Number 6, infection. Infection means a disease that is caused by bacteria or a virus. We can say that currently, the coronavirus, infected, okay, all like thousands of people around the world, especially, in the developing country, has, infected by the infection from the coronavirus because a huge or world pandemic. Okay. And number 7, advance. So advance means new discoveries or invention. Okay. Number 8, handful. Handful means a small number of few. Okay. Okay. So number 9, scientifically mean in a way that relate to science or uses or scientific method. And the last and the number 10, eventually mean at the end, especially after a long time. Okay. And the last one, number 11, myth, mean an idea that is not true but is believed by many people. So okay, how many of you can find the right answer with the definition, everyone? So teacher would like you to repeat again, everyone, like number 1 G, number 2 C, number 3 B, number 4 J, number 5 F, number 6 D, number 7 A, number 8 E, number 9 K, number 10 I, and number 11 H. Okay, so this is the definition and the word matching for the part 1. Okay, so now we move to our lesson today. The main one, we are going to talk about voices of tenses. So in English, the voices of tenses we divide into 2. We call active voice and passive voice, right? Normally that you use nowadays, you only use like frequently use active voice rather than passive voice. Okay. What does it mean, the passive voice one and active? Is it different? Sure. In active voice, sentence, the subject does the action. In the passive voice, the sentence, the subject receive the action. So this is the first difference, everyone. So you can see here, like, okay, when you talk about the passive active voice already. So active voice mean you so active voice do action, and passive voice receive action. Okay, the difference is like this, but they also have the different form as well, everyone. When you talk about the active voice and the passive voice. So let's take this form again, everyone. So okay, like the passive voice, consists of form of be plus with past participle. If the doers of an action is known and specific phrase, and we use the word by plus with noun can be used, right? So in passive verb, the be form reflects the tenses. The passive can be used in all tenses and after the modals. Okay, so you can. Okay, teacher would like you to see here. So remember, everyone, in active voice we use subject here. Example, like in the present tense, just compare. We use okay, like verb 1, right? Verb 1 plus with could be object, okay, the object. Whereas the present simple as well, but in passive form we use subject plus with be. Can be is am, is am, plus with past participle, we call PP, past participle or verb 3. Verb 3 example like speak, spoke, spoken, write, wrote, written, and come, came, come. Example, eat, ate, or eaten. Example like I eat. Example like I eat mango. I eat mango. Okay. I just subject, eat verb 1, and mango. The object. Some verb we don't have object also, everyone. So can we change it into the passive form? Okay, so we have to change like this, everyone. Okay, we can use the word mango. The mango. Okay, is. So we have to change the verb eat to verb 3. So verb 1 eat, verb 2 ate, verb 3 eaten, right? So we have eaten. In our rule at the slide, you know that normally we use the word by plus with noun or pronoun as well, right? So we use by. Who? Because I use the word I. So we can say that the mango is eaten by I, eaten by me. Is this sentence the same meaning, everyone? The same meaning, but when we look back to the subject, it is different. The first one, do action, and the second one, receive the action. You got it? Okay. So now we move back to our slide here. You see the example. They mentioned that we didn't take that factor into account, and we change that factor wasn't taken into account by us, or we don't use it. That's okay. Lightning has struck, the object before. The object has been struck by lightning before. Okay. And now teacher will give you more detail about some of the form. Okay. So this is the present, and what about should we give you here? Okay, and when you make it into the continuous, so we use the word being in the passive voice one, but in the active we use a subject. So teachers to talk about the present, like is, am, or are. Okay, plus with verb ing or verb 1 ing, right? Or plus with the object. Whereas in the present continuous passive form we use we use subject, we plus with is, am, are, plus with being, and plus with verb 3 same. So remember, all the passive form use with verb 3, even in the progressive. Okay. So then, like the past form, we form like this: subject, like plus with verb 2, right? We use verb 2 plus with the object. Okay. And the passive we use a subject plus with the past verb of is, am, are, we use was over plus with verb 3. Okay. What about in the continuous tense, we use subject plus with was over plus with verb 1 ing. Okay, or present participle, and we plus with the object. And in the past continuous tense, in the passive form we use a subject plus with was or were plus with being. Okay, and we plus with verb 3. What about the future, everyone? Future we use will. We use will plus with verb 1, right? And plus with object. And what about the future in the passive? We use like subject plus with will, plus with be plus with verb 3, or PPP, present participle of verb 3. So how can you change it into the continuous tense? Subject plus with with will plus with with be plus with verb ing or verb 1 ing. Okay, and plus with object. And in the passive form you have to use like the subject plus with will, plus with will, we use like okay, don't forget we use with being. Okay, so we use being plus with verb verb 3. So this is some of the the form that the teacher want to explain you here. Hope that you can uh, make the sentence correctly with this type of active voice and passive voice. Okay, the famous one, teacher example like okay, people love to give the example like cat. We say cat eat mice. Okay, and we can change to the mice. Okay, are eaten by the cat. So we can change a sentence like this. So now everyone, can you fill in the blank here, like fill it and with the given verb in the given tense, and use the passive voice and the appropriate tenses. So the first one, like number one, like the inaccurate data should by the research right now, right away. So we use the word correct. So what are you going to fill here, everyone? So the answer is, because of we use the modal verb, so don't forget to use be here. The inaccurate data should be corrected, okay, by the researchers right away. And number two, fortunately, the infection quickly and patient recover. We use the word treat. So we form the past tense because of the patient recover. So this is we use the past important. So here you have to use the past simple tense as well, but in the passive voice. Okay, so fortunately, the infection was treated quickly and the patient recovered. And number three, so many medical advances since 19. So many medicine advances since 1900 or 1900, and we use the word make. So this is in the past. So the medicine we still use until nowadays, and we use present perfect. So we use have been made since 2900. Okay. So now everyone, it come to the end of your video lesson today. Teacher would like to wrap up again. First of all, you have learned the 10 words and with the definition, and then you learn about the passive voice and comparing between passive voice and active voice. And here just a brief note about the form of the active voice and passive voice. One do action, one receive the action. Normally the passive voice they use to report something, especially in the newspaper, and the active voice frequently used by we can say that the normal or the normal conversation. Okay everyone, so now we come to the end of your lesson and see you again tomorrow. Goodbye everyone.